Today we're diving into something you might think you already know, but trust me, it holds a pretty surprising dual identity. Yep, we're talking about psilocybe mushrooms.
So, let me ask you, when you hear that term, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's a very specific, singular idea. But the reality? Oh, it's so much more complex and honestly, way more fascinating.
For instance, did you think of this? A food packed with B vitamins and antioxidants? I mean, it sounds like something you'd read on a health blog, right? Almost kind of mundane. But here's the thing. It's a totally accurate part of the mushroom's identity.
Or did your mind go straight here, to its famous ability to completely alter perception and consciousness? Well, both of these realities exist in the very same fungus. And that's the amazing story we're going to unpack today.
So let's start with the side of the story that is so often overlooked. Before we get into what it does for the mind, let's talk about the body and the solid nutritional science behind these things. Now, what's really interesting is that this nutritional profile, it could easily describe a bunch of other well-regarded, totally ordinary edible mushrooms. We're talking B vitamins that are great for your energy and nerve health. You've got essential minerals like selenium and potassium. They've even got these powerful antioxidants to help your body fight off stress. It's basically a health food hiding in plain sight.
And a huge player in that immune support are these things called beta-glucans. Now that sounds super sciencey, but it's pretty simple. They're just complex sugars in the cell walls of the fungi, and they're known to help regulate and support our immune response. This is some serious nutritional science at play here.
So here's the crucial takeaway. While, no one's grilling these up like a portobello steak, even the small amounts people typically consume have these beneficial compounds. They're actually contributing to our overall wellness. All right, so we've established the nutritional base. Now, let's flip the coin and talk about the other side of this mushroom's identity, the part that has fascinated and, let's be honest, mystified humanity for centuries. Let's dig into how its unique psychoactive key actually works. The magic, so to speak, is all in this simple but really profound chemical transformation. So you ingest the compound psilocybin, but, and this is the key, that's not actually what your brain interacts with. Your body has to metabolize it first, converting it into the active compound psilocin. It's basically a three-step journey from fungus to feeling. Step 1, you ingest the mushroom with the psilocybin. Step 2, your body's chemistry gets right to work, changing it into psilocin. And finally, step 3, that psilocin fits perfectly into specific receptors in your brain, and that's what kicks off the whole psychedelic experience. Okay, so we get the how, but what about the what? What is that experience actually like? Let's try to map out this really subjective journey that has captivated and, frankly, confounded humans for thousands of years. A typical experience follows a pretty predictable arc. The journey usually begins within the first hour or so as you start to feel things shift. Then that builds to a peak where the effects are most intense. That usually lasts for a couple of hours. And after that is a gradual, often very reflective return to your normal state of consciousness. And during that peak, wow, the experience can be incredibly varied and profound. Visually, you might see these intricate geometric patterns. Emotionally, it can bring these intense waves of feeling. Your sense of time might just warp where minutes can feel like hours. But maybe the most talked about effects are what's called ego dissolution, this feeling of kind of merging with the world around you and the potential for some really, really deep personal insights. So this all brings us to a much bigger question. I mean, given how deep this experience can be, how should we even think about it? For some, this isn't just about a chemical process, it's a philosophical one. Is this whole thing just about having fun, a simple recreational activity? And for some people, yeah, maybe it is. But for others, like the late, great ethnobotanist Terence McKenna, that point of view completely misses the point. Back in 1987, McKenna made this incredibly powerful statement that just reframed the entire conversation. He didn't see the psychedelic journey as some trivial pursuit. He saw it as a fundamental part of being an intelligent being, a birthright, and in his view, to live a full life without it was a missed opportunity of tragic proportions. So let's break that down for a second. From McKenna's perspective, this isn't just recreation, it's a fundamental right. He saw it as a tool for reconnecting with the natural world, a method for breaking down the limiting patterns of our own egos, and maybe even a gateway to understanding deeper layers of reality itself. Which brings us full circle, doesn't it? We started with the mushroom as a physical nutrient, full of B vitamins and antioxidants for your body. And we end with this philosophical view of it as a kind of nutrient for the mind, maybe even the soul. So the question left for us to think about is, are those two things mutually exclusive? Or are they just two sides of the same really mysterious coin?